Hey MMA fans, Cage Minds, your host Mika Fankl. It's interview time again, and today we are getting this chat with UFC heavyweight Shawn Jordan. Shawn, thank you for the time. How are you doing?
Good, man. Thank you for having me. My guys, where are you going, bud?
Everything here is good. So, optimally, when are you hoping to be back in the cage again?
It looks like hopefully, late July or in August at some point. They're kind of trying to work a fight out for me right now, but I'm still not in the contract yet. Hoping to get back with you within next week on one possible fight, and we'll see what the next.
Okay, well, you probably can't discuss too much about who the opponents could be, but say you were the matchmaker. Just throw a name out there. Who would you put up against yourself to test your skills at where you are right now?
You know what? It's kind of hard to say if I was a matchmaker. I like to watch, I like to see, they can fight anybody. It doesn't really matter to me or personally. And I think that's a real tough job for those guys to do, actually, because you're trying to match style to style and experience to experience and stuff. Where it's kind of hard in the UFC because UFC usually everyone's really experienced and has a lot of talent. So different areas, different areas. So it's kind of hard to say how I would match myself up. As far as personally, I'll fight whatever I want to do. It's better than me.
All right, keeping that positive. So, we know that you're a tremendous athlete from being a high school state wrestling champion, if I'm correct, and then a two-time national champion with the team in LSU in football. So how did it go from all of this, and I heard you wanted to be a doctor, translate into turning into a mixed martial artist?
I'm just a very, extremely competitive person. I have 3 other brothers that are, just big, big hosses also. And, we're just always competing with each other in everything we do. And, I guess transition from sport to sport wasn't really that hard of a transition for me. Other than the fact that, football is just a little more developed in the way it's handled. But, yeah, I guess, coming to mixed martial arts, it was kind of just, it was almost accidental. If you will, I was getting ready to go to combines and all that stuff for football, and, a friend was like, hey, you want to fight? And I was like, why not? Let's get to this. And I tried it out, and I actually broke my hand in the first punch. And, but I thought, well, yeah, this is so much fun. It was cool. So then when my football stuff fell out, I just started, I was like, well, I'm going to go try this. I'm still young. I'm single. I don't have any kids. I'm not going to go and try, see how this works out for me. And I just kind of give it a try, and I ended up, really liking it and enjoying the competition. So I kept doing it.
So out of all those athletics that you went through in your younger days, which one was your first love, your first passion?
Football is my first passion. It's always been. Now, I say that, and I mean me playing football, that is. I don't really watch sports. I'm not a real avid sports fan. Just didn't grow up watching sports. We got the family all work. So I watch, more so just playing. That was my first love.
All right. So as being a fighter, do you sit back sometimes and enjoy the fights on Saturday night, or are you just always thinking about working and getting to that next level?
You know what? I will. Sometimes I do enjoy watching them, and now that I'm at a major gym like Jackson's, and I have a lot of other athletes that I compete with and train with that are competing at the same level. I get to watch them on TV. Absolutely, I love to watch that stuff because these guys I see these are the guys I see every day. So I do enjoy watching them fight, and I enjoy watching heavyweight fights so I can see possible opponents for the future, or just get an idea of how they fight and things they do. So and it is a way to learn. Since I'm competing in this sport now, I do like to watch it. I enjoy it. It's a learning process. Like football, we watch film every day for 2-3 hours a day. So it's kind of the same, similar, I guess, advantage.
So where has that taken place? Because you've mentioned that, and with the football and the film study, where do you use that in your mixed martial arts studying? How do you use that?
Football, the discipline from training and preparing and getting everything ready as a football athlete carries over a lot. You know what I mean? because it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of, I guess, self-control and, you know, to hold yourself responsible for things, you know, and a lot, I guess that discipline you get from training the way we had to train all the time and we're on a schedule all the time, so it helps you put yourself on a schedule and manage your time as far as training goes for this sport.
Okay, so with that, also with the high school wrestling background you had, did you feel like when you started going to mixed martial arts, you were a wrestler going into mixed martial arts and you could lean on that background, or were you an athlete using your athleticism, leaning on that more when you first started?
You know, I think more so than anything, in all the sports I've done, it was more of just being an athlete and adjusting and learning. I was learning things really quickly. I picked things up really quickly, so I kind of went from there. So just, you know, using my ability to just figure things out and, you know, develop myself different ways. And then, you know, yeah, but I did grapple more early on, and now I work with Coach Winkeljohn at, you know, Jackson's all the time, and, yeah, he's just changing a world difference for me.
So if you had to put a number on it, where you were when you started to where you are now in your striking, how far do you feel you've come?
Oh, it's not a day. I used to walk straight forward and just brawl. Now, you know, I actually understand a little more head movement. I understand, you know, taking punches, going off of things. And, you know, before it was like, oh, you're going to hit me, it makes you harder. But, you know, this has a better chin. And, you know, it didn't always work out for me as a heavyweight. But, yeah, so now, now it's 9 days. You know, it's totally different.
Okay, and then being an athlete all your life, and you played football. And football, the guys are somewhat more heavier to take the pounding, and in MMA, the fighters are more lean. You're still a heavyweight, but do you feel that your body has changed from the time as a football player to now as a mixed martial artist?
Somewhat, yes. Mostly because it's harder for me to lift the same way I used to. Yeah, and then the environment's different. At football, when we lift, I mean, we were lifting for all sorts of power, energy, and just really being able to move things fast and be able to explode and recover quickly. Or in fight, it's the same thing, but you can't be, you know, I'm still close to what, you know, my playing weight was, but I'm not as, you know, thick in my neck and shoulders as I was in football.
Okay.
So.
And in all this time competing now in mixed martial arts, has it just all continued in the same line of discipline and mentality and work ethic you've had in your life, or has it changed anything in you?
You know, not really. I've had to, it's actually somewhat, it's a little different because I have school stuff to do, what I deal with also. Because, you know, when I played football, I was in school, or I was working, you know, I was doing something. Or for MMA, it's like I just have to train most of the time now. Well, since I've worked to start working until I get the UFC, you know, I don't work as much anymore. Until I go back home, I work on a cattle farm. But in camp, I'm just training. So it's a little easier too, but it's kind of, at the same time, it's me being responsible for my time. I have to go out there and run by myself. I have to go out there and, you know, lift weights on myself. So, you know, in that aspect, yeah, it gets a little tough, but it's easier as far as not having such things to deal with.
So do you find yourself ever bored?
You know, I try to learn things every day. I try to change everything, so I kind of reflect on that stuff, you know, in evenings and whatnot, because I think mentally you kind of learn, you know, to understand movements more, and it makes it easier for you to perform them, in my mind anyway.
So visualization is a big key to a lot of it afterwards?
I think so, yeah. So it helps you kind of able to remember that those movements, helps develop that muscle memory, just like knowing the way your body's supposed to move.
All right, and then now you're here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Team Jackson's. What's that been like, and what's the competition in the heavyweight class like there?
And you know what? Again, moving to Jackson has been so helpful for me and so beneficial. It's changed my entire style of, you know, competing. I'll tell you what, you know, Coach Jackson's also been, you know, really just kind of fine-tuning your little engaged efficiencies, I guess, your little grappling, you know, tendencies and whatnot. But Coach Winkeljohn, for me, has done so much has changed my entire fight style. So then that has again been awesome. And then we have some of the bigger guys that come in here. We have Big Charles Brown and John Jones and some of us that really come in and help each other all the time. Like we're gonna have fights, but we all come back to camp to help each other. So it's a pretty good atmosphere for that.
Right, and you seem to be working off of that, the momentum. How do you feel the momentum has grown for you in these last 2 fights, getting the wins, LeVar Johnson, Ole Thompson?
You know what? I don't really know. To be honest with you, I think it puts me as a reliable, competitor. It makes you understand that I will come out and I'll come and fight. I'm not going to, I'm not trying to, drag a fight out or win one by decision. I mean, I want to get in there and compete and finish. I think that's what it kind of shows that. As far as momentum goes, I don't really know. I'm used to competing, and so it's kind of one of those things for me. I don't really think about it. I'm just thinking about the next one now. Yeah, that one's done. Cool. Go to the next one now. That's kind of the way it goes through my head, I guess.
Okay. Could you talk about a little bit about, you've had the rare experience of competing for Bellator, Strikeforce, and the UFC, being in all 3 of the major North American promotions. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. My pro debut was for a Bellator card in Monroe, Louisiana. Against a guy named James McKinney, who's a pretty established kickboxer. I think it's helped me because it helps me manage my fight anxiety, I guess. Because some guys are real nervous and real upset and real frustrated or real angry for fights and stuff. I'm kind of laid back and silly. I want to joke around and have fun. The fight's the fun part. All the training, all the stuff we do now is the hard part. But it's given me the ability to understand and be able to handle the bigger shows coming up. I started off with Bellator, who had some pretty big shows. Then with Strikeforce, who had some big shows, and then I fought the UFC, who had huge shows. So I think that in that aspect helped a lot, and it's also helped me gauge the talent I've had to compete with.
Right, and can there be a crowd that would get you nervous having the background of being in those national title games? I mean, the focal point was not you in a one-on-one moment so much, but you've been in a giant stadium with tons of people. So do you think that there's a point where you could feel nerves from a crowd?
It's not so much a crowd that make me nervous. They're there to watch us fight. Want to get a good show on. And I don't think most fighters have the anxiety is there for that yet. Again, if you're having fun in front of huge crowds, I play football in front of 110,000 people. So then that aspect, it helps me. But I think that thought process of not winning is what's harder for people to handle. I think that's the battle that a lot of fighters go through in their head.
Right.
But like you said, I don't know. But as far as the fans, I do get a little nervous walking out. I think I have more anxiety of actually taking my shirt off in front of everybody than I do getting in the cage to fight. Because once I'm fighting, you don't ever think about anybody else that's out there. Now I don't see anybody. We're just fighting now.
You're in that zone. You're in the moment. It's go time.
Yeah, because I'm thinking with the crowd, and I'm going to get put in my butt.
Okay, so off of that, the Bellator experience, most of your MMA career prior to the UFC debut was in Louisiana. So what was that experience like in Australia?
Oh, Australia was awesome. It was a beautiful, beautiful country. We were there 8 days early. It was harder for me to come back here than it was for me to get there and stay. It was fun, man. It was really, the fans out there are great. They appreciate just the competition. They're not out there yelling, hooping, hollering, but if they're just wrestling on the ground, they're rolling around, what are they doing? Give them bang. They're cool with whatever you're doing. They're excited about the submissions. They're excited about, people getting there and, throwing bombs. It was a great experience. I loved it. And, I hope I go back there and get to compete. I love those fans. They're great.
And what was it like being out there the week early and dealing with the time change and all of that? What was that like?
Like I said, going out there the week early, going out there was actually easier on us than coming back home. as far as the jet lag goes, the time change, yeah, going out there, we just stayed up the whole day. We got there like 7 in the morning, and we lost the whole day. So what we did was, we just stayed up the whole day, we trained, and went to bed like at 10 o'clock at night. So the next day was fine, we were kind of okay. But then we came back, it was a little rougher, a little tough to adjust.
Okay, so from all that, another question on the silly side now of things. Will you ever rock the pink mohawk again for a fight?
You know what? I don't know. I think that's part of me growing up a little bit. I used to have like a 7-inch mohawk when I was playing football, and just rocked it all the time. And then I wore it when I was fighting for a while. But I feel like, I guess maturity and actually taking this as a business, business. I think it's probably not. It's probably not going to come back. I think it just, now that UFC's gone mainstream and all that, I think a lot of athletes need to clean up a little bit and, kind of understand that it's this competition. And to sell it, you have to be kind of, well-spoken and handle yourself, be articulate, handle yourself properly, because now we're appealing to a whole different genre of fans.
Right. So you feel that. You yourself feel the being a role model and the eyes on you guys to walk that straight line and be those kind of company men. You see that and you feel that essence happening with the growth of the sport into the mainstream?
I think it's going to have to happen somewhat, yes. And as a role model, sure. I mean, look, you come up and talk to you all the time, and there's so nice. And we're not perfect. Obviously we do compete in a pretty rugged sport. But we're not perfect. We're just like anybody else. Everybody makes mistakes. You do stupid things. But I mean, as far as just everyday life and just how you carry yourself, yeah, absolutely. People need to kind of handle themselves professionally because little kids are watching you. Yeah.
All right. And thinking from that, where do you stand on fight hyping, kind of trash talking? Where do you stand on that kind of thing? You know what?
I don't. You probably almost never hear me do it. I don't talk trash. This is a competition. We're fighting. We're already fighting. Like, I'm gonna fight you. We're under contract. I don't need to talk trash to you. We're already getting to do it. I'm not picking a fight. So I don't know. I mean, I think Shawn Jordan's funny, and the way he does it's a little more. Sure, it's still disrespectful. But it's a little cleaner. It's not so rugged where like a little kid can hear it and be like, "Oh wow, I can't believe you just said that. I don't want my kids listening to this." You know what I mean? Whereas the Diaz brothers just go off and just let it all hang out and they cut and they just kind of rude about stuff, and that's just not something that I think the sport needs.
No.
Yes. Do I like it personally? Absolutely. It's funny. It's hilarious to listen to these guys do this stuff. It really is. But looking outside in from other people's I guess match player or whatnot. Yeah, there's. I mean, you don't want your kids listening to that.
Right, exactly. It's very hard to tell people about how technical the sport is, more than barbarianistic, and people are just bludgeoning each other. When you can Google pages with the Diaz brothers in their corner coming out for the round, flipping people off prior, after, rolling a triangle hold. It's just giving those negative people more firepower. So I love that, not giving them more firepower to hate on the sport that we're all trying to build up here.
Absolutely. And I'm nothing bad about that. No negative plays or Diaz brothers and stuff. I think they're great fighters. But yeah, personally, I'm not going to do it. If you ever hear me talk trash, it's because there's something personal involved. It's not for business anymore. It's personal.
All right. So in that essence, have you ever been in one of those nasty, heated stare downs before then at the weigh-ins?
You know what? I've been in them where people are doing it to me.
And then what's your response back?
I just laugh. We're fighting tomorrow, man. You're wasting all that energy being angry right now. We're going to fight tomorrow. I don't need that anger to compete. It's competition to me. Sure, it's to put food on the table, but I mean, it's competition, man.
Okay, so it's the competition. The competition, you have the lighter, happier side of it. How did you get the nickname The Savage?
You know what? One of my training partners, Matt Brown. Not Matt Brown from the UFC. Matt Brown's a local fighter in Louisiana. One of my best friends. They were all joking around the gym, like we were just messing around, and one day, like, "Dude, you're so savage." Like, I'm not even funny, I'm laughing, but I'll be kind of controlling or handling or beat up on somebody, and I'll still be smiling and laughing. And it's not personal; it's just competition. And I'm competitive, and he just laughs like, you're a savage. You're like enjoying it. I'm like, okay, and it kind of just stuck from there.
All right. So another one of the questions where it's your choice if you had a choice in it. What song are you walking out to when you have a choice to pick it?
You know what? The song I walked out to the bar was Otis Redding, sitting on top by the bay.
Yeah.
It was actually my training partner, Lane Williamson, and I were running here in the mountains. You know, we do our cardio stuff during my first camp ever at Jackson's, and that was just a song. We sat down and take a break, and we started singing it, having a good time, and we were tired, and we were hating camp. So it's kind of just whatever song you kids me there at camp. I'll just see if I walk after that one.
All right. And then some things with the downtime. Besides working out at the ranch, what are some things you're doing for fun?
You know, I like to watch movies and stuff. You know, that's one thing that, you know, I do enjoy just going hanging out and just kind of take it easy. Now, all the time, I like to eat. Obviously, I'm heavyweight, but, yeah, when I'm in camp, we just go watch a movie, hang out with friends, do something just to kind of, you know, just kind of deflate from the week of training.
All right, so favorite thing to eat right after you win. You get to go out to eat. What are you ordering?
Oh, I'll get a cheeseburger. I love Whataburger.
Listen to that, Whataburger.
It reminds me of my childhood.
And what was the last movie you went and saw?
Oh, Men in Black 3, actually.
Have not seen that yet. How is it?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I'm usually amused at movies, though, but it was really good. I thought it was. I like Will Smith and all that, so it was a good movie.
Awesome. Well, we'll be highly anticipating the announcement of your next fight. Best wishes on that and everything. Give you a moment now if you wanted a shout out to your training partners, sponsors, whatnot. Go for that.
Okay, well, thanks to everybody here at Jackson, Winkeljohn. Thanks to your coach, Jackson, and, you know, especially Coach Wayne for doing all, you know, spending time with me and investing time in my stand-up game. Trans Brown's coming in next week, so it'd be good to have a big fella out here to bang with and, you know, get better. So, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Awesome. We're excited about watching you grow. Thank you very much for the time to do the interview. This has been Cage Minds, everyone. Watch out for Shawn Savage Jordan, a rising UFC heavyweight. This has been Cage Minds. Uncage the warrior within yourself.